Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking something that's absolutely crucial, but honestly can be a little confusing to navigate: Rhode Island's state disability insurance program. Look, if you're dealing with a medical setback, the absolute last thing you want to deal with is a mountain of bureaucratic paperwork, right? So we're going to clear all that up right now and walk you through exactly how to secure the benefits you've already earned.
Let me ask you this right off the bat. Are you, or maybe a loved one, living in Rhode Island and totally unable to work because of a disability? If the answer is yes, well, you're in the right place. We're going to show you how to access that essential support today. Because this really isn't just about government red tape, it's about protecting your livelihood when life throws a curveball, so you can just focus on what actually matters, which is healing and recovery.
Okay, let's dive right into our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with what TDI and TCI actually are, then check if you qualify, go through a step-by-step application guide, talk about how to expedite the process, look at what to expect next, and finally share some resources and a quick disclaimer.
So, Section 1. What exactly are TDI and TCI? Let's get the basics down.
Before you even think about filling out a form, you've got to know which program fits your situation. Mixing these up is a surefire way to delay your money. So here's the breakdown. TDI, which is temporary disability insurance, is specifically for your own temporary, non-work-related illness or injury. TCI, on the other hand, temporary caregiver insurance, is for when you need to step away to care for a seriously ill family member or to bond with a new child, whether that's a newborn, adopted, or a foster child. And here's a fun fact. Rhode Island was actually the very first state in the entire country to set up a TDI program all the way back in 1942. It's a great system built to protect you, but you've got to know which door to walk through.
Moving right along to Section 2. Do you actually qualify? Let's look at the requirements. Eligibility basically boils down to two main things: your money and your medical status. Looking at the financial side first, you know what's really interesting here? These programs are funded entirely by employee payroll deductions, meaning you've been paying into this out of your own paycheck. To qualify, you need to have earned enough during a specific window they call the base period. Currently, the magic number is either $13,800 in base period wages, or you can use an alternative calculation. That alternative means you earned at least $2,300 in one quarter, and your total wages hit at least $4,600. It sounds like a math test, I know, but thankfully, the state does the calculating for you based on your reported wages.
Okay, the second pillar is medical eligibility. And listen, this is the absolute hinge point of your entire claim. You can't just call up the state and say, hey, I'm too sick to work. A doctor actually has to prove it. A qualified healthcare provider must officially certify that you are functionally unable to do your normal job for a minimum of 7 consecutive days. If your doctor forgets to send that certification in, or say you're only out for 5 days, your claim simply will not move forward, period.
All right. Section 3, our step-by-step application guide. Let's walk through it.
Look, I know government bureaucracy can feel super intimidating, but if we just break it down into 4 manageable steps, it's actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, make sure your healthcare provider is ready and willing to certify your condition. Step 2, gather all your personal, medical, and employment info before you even start the form. Step 3, apply strictly within the state's deadlines. And step 4, set up your payment methods so the cash can actually get to you. Getting these ducks in a row right from the start is going to save you a ton of anxiety. Now, speaking of deadlines, pay close attention because this is where so many people trip up. These filing windows are strict. For TDI claims, you have to file within 90 days of the very first week you're out of work. But if you're filing for TCI, like as a caregiver or for bonding, you only have 30 days after your leave begins to file that claim. If you miss these windows, you literally risk losing the benefits you've been paying for out of your own pocket. Seriously, do not delay on this. When you actually open up the application, whether you're doing it online or on paper, you're going to need some very specific details right at your fingertips. We're talking your exact date of birth, current contact info, and crucially, the exact first workday you were unable to work because of the illness or injury. You cannot guess these dates, folks. They have to perfectly match up with whatever your employer and your doctor report to the state. Let's move to Section 4, expediting the process. Because who wants to wait for their money, right? If you're sitting there wondering, how do I get approved as fast as humanly possible, the secret all comes down to how you file. If you apply online, your application usually gets processed in about 3 days, and you get these great instant email updates on your status. But if you decide to mail in a paper application, well, a worker has to manually type it all into the system.
That can take over 2 weeks just to be received and processed, and you're totally relying on snail mail for updates. I literally cannot stress this enough. If you have a computer or smartphone, apply online. And doing it online is super easy. Just head over to dlt.ri.gov. Right there on the homepage, you're going to click on For Individuals, then select Temporary Disability/Caregiver Insurance, and finally, just hit Apply for TDI or TCI. It's a highly secure, streamlined portal that is literally designed to save you weeks of waiting.
Section 5. What to expect next. Let's talk timelines.
Knowing the exact timeline usually gives folks a lot of peace of mind. So here's how it generally flows. Day 1, you submit your application online. Within about 3 days, the state processes it. Once you're officially approved and your medical certification is all synced up, your direct deposit will usually hit your bank account within 48 to 72 hours. All told, most people who apply online see their very first payment arrive within about 3 weeks of hitting that submit button. Oh, and a vital note on how you actually get paid. The Rhode Island Department of Labor and Training does not send out paper checks anymore. Those days are gone. You absolutely have to either set up direct deposit straight to your checking or savings account, or you can request an electronic payment card, which is essentially just a prepaid debit card. Honestly, though, direct deposit is by far the easiest and most seamless route to take. Now, what happens if things don't go your way and you get a denial letter? First off, don't panic, but you do have to act fast. If you're denied, you have exactly 15 calendar days to file a written request for an appeal. Your case then gets sent over to the Board of Review, and a hearing officer takes a fresh look at your claim. You can even bring a representative or new medical evidence with you to make your case. But again, I can't emphasize this enough, that 15-day window is incredibly strict.
Finally, Section 6, Resources and our quick disclaimer.
I really want to leave you with the exact tools you need to stay on top of this. Because things like wage limits, maximum benefits, and tax rates do shift a little bit every single year based on state averages. You should always check the most current data. You can just scan the QR code that's up right now to jump directly to the state's benefit quick reference sheet. That is absolutely the best way to double-check those up-to-date monetary eligibility requirements straight from the source. And of course, as always, I do have to officially remind you, this explainer provides general information and is not a substitute for professional advice. We definitely encourage you to consult with the relevant authorities, maybe your HR department or legal professionals, for personalized guidance regarding your own specific medical and financial situation. Which brings us to our final thought for today. Remember, you pay into this system with every single paycheck you earn. It is a safety net that was built specifically for you. So will you be ready to claim the benefits you've earned if the unexpected happens? By understanding this whole process, getting your application in online, and keeping your doctors in the loop, you absolutely will be. Stay informed, stay proactive out there, and take care of yourselves. Thanks so much for learning with the Explainer.